Hello, everyone. Thanks for attending these sessions today. I'm going to start now. I'm Lionel David, so I'm a solution architect for Megaport. I am based in France. And today, I will speak about our hybrid cloud solutions, but I will have a focus more on how to connect different data centers together and not necessarily speaking about access to CSPs because it has been already seen in previous sessions, and that will be also in the next session as well. So today we are going to speak about private connectivity, data center to data center, for example, for the same client or for different client that would like to connect to us through Megaport, together. And that might be also like replacing an MPLS line, for example. Before to go in more details, I just want to present a little bit Megaport for those that don't know what we do and what we are, and then we are going to go in more details. So Megaport is a global network which you can use to connect to leading service providers anytime for anywhere. What it means? It means that we are already connected to a big range of service provider, of course, the hyperscalers as well. And you can connect to them in minutes with our network as a service platform. It's a portal you can connect on, and you can create private connectivity or component with us in minutes. And then you can create a connectivity to AWS, GCP, Azure in minutes, wherever is the region you want to connect to. So wherever you are connected to us, which means in one of the 850 data center plus worldwide, and from each connections with us, you can create interconnections to anything, service provider, but also other customers, etc. It's a global networks, and of course, we are talking about global networks, Megaport networks. It is a secure way to interconnect. Why? Because you totally bypass internet in this case, which means that you can enable private paths in minutes, and it will guarantee the bandwidth. And as well, you will get a very predictable latency and very optimal as well, because you are totally bypassing internet with us. And on the top of that, there is also some benefit in terms of pricing with the hyperscalers, because when you are on the internet, you're going to have egress cost and have to set up VPN. So it will be complex, and you will have to pay 8 cents per gigabyte. With a private connectivity like Megaport, you will reduce this pricing to 2 cents per gigabyte, which might be very, very interesting as soon as you reach some small amount of capacities required. It is scalable solutions. Because this is a network as a service platform, you can spin up, create, modify, ramp up, ramp down your component, your private connectivity in a very, very easy way. It's very simple to do. You just have to connect on our portal, or you can even do with API or Terraform, and you can just manage your connectivity the way you want, the way you need. You can create capacity to CSPs, capacity to other private points, and you can just change those capacity. You can create, modify whenever you need to, and you can also adapt in function of your requirements, the bandwidth. So for example, if you are connected to Google at 1 gig, for example, you need to increase to 2 gigs. It takes 1 click to do it. So scalable and simple. We have everything automatized. You can do everything on our portal or with API and Terraform. It's very easy to use. Our platform is really ergonomic, and I'll show you that in the demonstration that will follow after this quick presentation. Quickly about our global reach, as you can see here, we are available in North America, in EMEA, in Asia Pacific, and we are extending our footprint. And for example, on this slide, what we are going to talk about today, as I said, not going to focus on how to connect to the CSPs, because it has already been discussed, and that will be also rediscussed again in other sessions. But today I want to show you how to interconnect, for example, a data center in the US to another data center in Europe, for example. This is what we call private VXC. VXC for virtual cross connect. I'm going to more into the details on that after. But it's creating private connectivity between two data centers of your own, which means creating a backbone, virtual backbone, through us, connecting your data center directly and getting a layer 2 connectivity that you can have with lots of flexibility in terms of capacity change. So our backbone is available in more than 850 data centers. So you have a lot of choice to connect to us in a lot of country and in a lot of metro zone. Now I will speak about our hybrid cloud solutions before to deep dive into the private connectivity. So what is hybrid cloud solutions for us is the way to interconnect your data center to lots of our service provider. So in these diagrams, you see it's the customers connecting to us with a cross connect, so the physical connectivity in a data center, to a port. It's our connectivity service, a port that can be 1 gig, 10 gig, or 100 gigs. And from this port, once you are connected, I mean, usually it will take 48 hours, something like that, to have the cross connect set up by the data center operator. Once you are connected, then you can start using Megaport in production. So you have the ability to create what we call VXC, virtual cross connect, from your ports. So virtual cross connect is layer 2 connectivity to the entire ecosystem of services. And here you have the top 4 presented, but you have much more options to connect to through one port of connectivity. Here we have mentioned 280 on-ramp. It means that we are already connected to all of the service provider. And that's why it's so easy and quick to set up. It's because the backbone is ready to use. From AN, which is your connectivity, to BN, which is the provider, it takes 1 minute to set up this connectivity with Megaport through the backbone and wherever is the destination. So from one port, which is the service we are going to use here, you have lots of options to connect to. Of course, you can connect to other components that we can provide. I'm not going to explain those today. There are other sessions where you can have more information of them. Just mentioning that you can connect to a Megaport Cloud Router for multi-cloud, hybrid multi-cloud use case. You can connect to Megaport Virtual Edge for hybrid and firewalling and routing as a service as well, and SD-WAN gateway. That's what does the Megaport Virtual Edge. You can connect your data center to this, and having a hybrid and advanced network architecture. As I said in the previous slide, you have all the cloud service provider hyperscalers where you can set up something really automated. So an express route, a direct connect, a partner interconnect in 1 minute to all of them. And wherever is the region you want to connect to. So for example, if you are connected to us in Madrid, you can connect to AWS in Ireland in 1 minute. And you can also, if you want, if that makes sense, to connect to Singapore, Oracle, or Tokyo, Azure, or in the US as well, if that makes sense, of course. To finish on all the services we can connect to through one port, you also have Mega IX platform that you can connect to for public peering. Also very useful to connect directly to lots of ISP. And as you can see here, we have the ability to create 100 VXCs from one port, which means that you can mutualize your port and connect to lots of different BN like CSPs, like component, like IX, but also to your own data center on the other side. So this is what I wanted to show you today. You can create layer 2 connectivity between your port. Let's say that this is in Paris on the left side, and here you have a data center in Frankfurt. You can spin up what we call a private VXC in 1 minute between the two ports, which means you can have the backbone connections between your two data center, and this backbone links can be from 1 meg to 25 gigs or even above in some place. And you can really have this ability to ramp up, ramp down this in function of your requirement. So this is what we call a private VXCs, and I'm going to show you that in the portal, the way to do that. And another option, which is interesting, it's having two customers connecting together. So they are not seeing each other in the system, in the Megaport platform, but they can exchange together a service keys, which means that they will be able to connect together quite easily as well. It will take the same amount of time than the private VXC we have seen on the other slide. So how it works, and it can be two customers, but it can also be one customer and a provider, for example. And here in this example, you have customer A that will create a service keys that will permit the customer B to connect to the customer A port. So once the service keys has been provided to the customer B, then the customer B will order a VXCs to the customer A, and the VXCs will be set up in minutes as well. So this is what I'm going to show you in the portal now. So let me go on the demonstration now. So here I am on my dashboard. So let's say that I just simulate one, for example, one data center, let's say, for example, in interaction par 5, I can just create a port of connections to connect to Megaport. So I will just go through all the details here. So I can connect to 110, 100 gigs. So let's go for 100 gigs here. That's the port 1 for customer A. That's it. And here I have the pricing, I can engage or not, and I can also have some diversity options, so I can connect to different edge router on Megaport side, having some lag also to have higher bandwidth. Here I just adding the ports, which means I'm going to deploy and order the ports so that I can connect to it. So I have my shopping cart here, which is ready to go. I just have to order now, so I can read my global service agreement, just make sure I am aligned with the GSA, the Megaport GSA. So now I'm just ordering the ports, and what it will do is that it will just deploy and make ready a port to be connected with a cross connect. We are going back on this just after. So in the meantime, I'm going to go in Frankfurt this time for the B end for the same customer. So Frankfurt is here. So for example, I'm going, I don't know, let's go in main cubes Frankfurt. I'm going to do the same. So creating ports of connectivity. So I can connect to Megaport with one port. So I just select 100 gigs. This is my port number 2. I am customer here. Same options, diversity, live port for more bandwidth, etc. I haven't explained private public, but if you click on public, it means that you can also be a service provider with a profile in the marketplace. Then the other customer can request you connectivity. So this is the way to be public in the marketplace. So the other customer can contact you to connect to you. But we'll see that we can do between two customers that are not in the marketplace with the service keys, as long as they know that they're connected to Megaport or each other. But if one wants to be a service provider and provide some services, it can click here on public and become available in the marketplace. So same workflow, ordering here my shopping carts, finalizing the order. And now I'm going in the service page, sorry. Just waiting for refreshing. Okay, now it's in deployment. I'm going to a service page. As you can see, the port number 1 is now configured. It's ready to use. So I have the LOA, and the clients can click on it, send it to the data center operator for cross-connect setup. Once the cross-connect is set up, then the port will go green, and you can start to use it. So now that port number 2 is in deployable mode, it will go configured in very short time, 45 seconds, and my 2 ports will be ready to use as soon as the cross-connect are connected to. So it will take 48 hours. Now, how to interconnect both ports and have a backbone link between the two data centers? It's as easy as clicking on plus connection here, clicking on private VXC. So here I need to select Germany. This is my port number 2 here. I click on next. I will put a name to my VXC. Let's say port 1 to port 2. rate limit, let's say 1000, but I could go until 25 gig if I need to. I have other options, but for example, here I can select the VLANs. I want to see the layer 2 connectivity arriving on my ports. Same on the other side. I can change the VLAN if I need to. And I can engage or not also on the pricing. If I need to adapt with ramping down, sometimes I need to stay flexible with no minimum term, but if I want to engage, have a more discount, I can go for 12 months or more. I click here on next, adding the VXCs now, and that will finish the demo on how to interconnect two data center for the same customer. It is as easy as that and as quick as that. So now that we have seen how to interconnect two data centers for the same customer, let's go for the version where two different customers needs to connect together with a service key. So in this case, I have created another customer here. So I am in another account. So let's say, for example, the client is connected in Netherlands this time. I can be connected in Digital Realty. And here the client is connected with a 10 gig ports. That's port number 1 for customer B. Again, subscriptions, can you engage or not? Diversity, like port for more bandwidth. I have my shopping cart. I'm going to click on order so I can deploy the ports and get the LOA, and then I can create the connectivity. I can request the connectivity to the data center operator. In the meantime, so I have my customer B here deploying the ports. So on the customer A side, I'm going to create a service key for my port in Paris. So it means that the client customer B will be able to connect to customer A to his data center in Paris. So here I'm going to create a service key. Click on add. So this is my service key for customer B. Single use, multi-use means that you can modify, you can remove and recreate, etc. So it's usable several times. I can create a service key and until 100 gigs of throughput for the VXCs, the customer B will set up. The validity is by default 1 year, but you can reduce or increase as well. And active is by default, the VXCs will be active. So I am adding this into my service keys for this port. I can then send the service keys to the clients. In this case, for the demo, I'm going to just do a copy paste. So I'm closing this, and I'm going back on the customer B side. And the customer B side now can click on plus connection. And in this case, so in all the options, you can connect to cloud, private VXC. So here, this is great because in this account, there is no other component to connect to, as simply as that. IX, Megaport Marketplace with all the other service providers you can connect to. And that's where you are going to enter the service key. Enter service key here. So I just enter the service key. It has recognized it automatically, service key for customer B. I can go for max speed 1 gig, so I'm clicking next. That's my VXC between customer A and customer B. And here, the customer B can choose to use lower bandwidth or the maximum bandwidth allowed by the customer A. And once, okay, here I can also, the customer B can select the VLAN he wants to see the layer 2 connectivity on his router. The VLAN tag that will be provided to him. I'm clicking next, adding VXC. Again, the shopping cart is ready, so I can order my VXC. Finalizing the order. And now, in the customer B account, I can see the VXC deploying. So in, let's say, 45 seconds, that will be configured and ready to use. And in the customer A account, I can see that the VXC with the service keys has appeared here. Sorry, that's here under the port 1 of customer A, which is in Paris, from which I set up service keys. So this is here, VXC customer A and customer B with the service keys, and under that, the backbone for the customer A data center in Frankfurt. And as I said, one port can be mutualized. So here you have two VXC, but you can also spin up other VXC to other services like CSPs and other service providers from the marketplace, IX platform, etc., etc. So I'm going back in the slides and seeing if there is any question. So I think there is no questions today. So thank you everyone for attending this demo. You have my emails here on this slide. If you want to contact me, having any questions or doing more deep dive presentation, don't hesitate. I can speak in French and in English. So it's up to you. I can be available and let me know. So thank you everyone. Have a good day and have a really good weekend. Bye-bye.